What's up guys, Smith here from GamersHeroes.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to play Sabacc. Now, if you've just started the game, this is probably going to be the first Sabacc table you find. It is in the Pike District, so you do need good friendship with them, but there are Sabacc tables all over the game. It's not massively involved. There are a couple of bits where you're going to have to play Sabacc, so it's a good idea to learn to play it, but it's a really fun game. The only issue is the tutorial makes it sound so more complicated than it actually is. It's actually a really simple game, so hopefully I'm going to filter down the complications for you, and if you're struggling, hopefully by the end of this video, you should be good to go. So we're going to go straight in. I'm not going to use any of the advanced stuff. I've completed all of the Sabacc stuff other than one mission, so I've got all of the cheats, all of the tokens, but we'll go over that in a bit. Alright, so this is what a Sabacc hand looks like. Every time you start, you will be dealt 2 cards. Sometimes you go first, sometimes someone else go first. That's not overly important for this bit. So what we're looking for is pairs, basically. Now, the game explains it that Sabacc is all about minusing cards. So if we do, in this particular hand, 6 minus 2, our score would be 4, and the score you're looking for is 0. Really, it's just about playing pairs. You know, the minusing just makes it sound overly complicated for me. So for me, the best thing I can do is either draw a 6 or a 2, because both of those together. So if I draw a red 6, it'll be 6 minus 6, which is 0, but it's also just a pair of 6s. If I draw a yellow 2, it's 2 minus 2, which is 0, but again, it's just a pair of 2s. So don't worry too much about the minus in terms of the Sabacc hands. Just focus on pairs. It's like a mix of pairs and poker. You always need 1 yellow and 1 red card in your hand, so if I draw a yellow, I will have to discard a yellow. Not necessarily the one I picked up, but you will have to discard a yellow. Now, I can already see here, there's a yellow 2 here, so I'm going to draw that, because then that's going to give me a pair of 2s, which is a Sabacc 2. There are 7 different Sabacc hands, really. You've got Sabacc 1, which is a pair of 1s, all the way through to a pair of 6s. Those go in that order. So a pair of 1s is the best Sabacc hand, a pair of 6s is the worst Sabacc hand, but that's still a Sabacc. I'll get into why that's important in a minute. There are other cards that come into play that change that a little bit. I'm probably not going to draw one here flukily. So the imposter over here is the same score as a Sabacc, but it's randomized. So at the end of the game, when you reveal your card, when you reveal your hand, you will have to roll a dice for the imposter. So if I pull that now, I will need to roll a 6 on the dice at the end of the game. You do get 2 dice, but the odds are still very rarely in your favor. So I don't recommend using this early on. Later on, you do get the ability to cheat and use magnetic dice, so you can make it roll what you want it to roll. At that point, it's a great card. When you're starting out, I would avoid it most of the time because the odds just aren't going to work. So we're looking here. I can draw, and I'm probably going to draw the yellow 2, right? Because remember, you've got to have one of each card. I've already got a red 2, so I'm going to draw the yellow 2, and then I'm probably going to discard the 6. Now, I have a Sabacc hand here, because 2 minus 2 is 0, or just a pair of 2s. And that's a pretty good one. The only one that can beat that is a pair of 1s or a sylop Sabacc. Now, a sylop Sabacc involves a special card, which we're probably not going to see at this exact moment. I'll get a picture up for you on the screen here. This card duplicates the other card in your hand. So whatever the other card is, it's that card. So if I had a sylop card in my hand right now, it would copy one of the 2s. So that's a really good card to have. That tops all other ones. So if you have a sylop 1 Sabacc, so you have a 1 and a sylop, which makes a pair of 1s, that is the best hand in the game. Likewise, if I get a sylop 2 Sabacc, that will be a normal Sabacc of 2s, but not above it. So you've got all of the Sabaccs 1 through 6 are the best, and then the sylop is just one better than those. So I've got a pair of 2s here, which is a 2 Sabacc, so I'm just going to stand. I don't think there's any need for me to put more chips in. It's not like poker in the sense that me putting more chips in is beneficial. It's not going to do me any favors. If anything, it's worse. So I could use one of my little tokens here. These do all sorts of different things. They're sort of more advanced. You don't really need to worry about them too much. But right now, I've got a chip in there already, so I could draw another chip and then refund next turn to get my chips back. Instead, I'm going to make one of these guys have to pay a little bit more. So he's going to be able to draw less cards now. So we're going to go with that guy over there.
Deal with this.
And then again, I'm going to stand. Now, the reason why you might want to stand instead of drawing sometimes is because of what happens if you lose. So let's say someone pulls a 1 Sabacc out and I come second or third. If you have a Sabacc hand and you lose, you will only lose the chips in your tax pot, which is on the green little light in front of you, plus 1 from your stash. So that's the best way to lose, because then you're only going to lose what you've paid to draw, which means you're probably going to be in the next round and maybe the round after. If you lose without a Sabacc hand, that's very much likely going to cost you the game, most of the time. So if you've got, let's say, a 5 and a 6 in your hand and you lose the difference between those two. So the difference between 5 and 6 is 1. So you lose everything in your tax pot, and then you lose 1 from your personal stash of chips. So we're going to have a look here. I'm probably going to win with the 2 Sabacc. This guy might tie with me, but I think mine wins because his is the random dice. We'll see. He failed. So I got all of my chips back because I won. Everyone else, because they had such big differences between their numbers, the 4 and the 2 there, that guy got hammered. So there's only a couple of people left, so we'll run another hand here. So I've got a 5 and a 3 now, so we're going to go and have a little look here and see what we can come up with when they're going round. So you can see at the top where you can see the cards they're discarding as well. This does give you a little bit of a hint as to what they're playing, but you don't need to think about it that much, honestly. Just make sure you finish every game with a Sabacc, and you'll be able to pull it off probably most of the time. Now, we do have a red 5 here. Now, again, a 5 Sabacc hand is the second worst Sabacc hand, but at the same time, I know my opponents don't have a lot of chips left, so at this point, they're not going to be able to draw and draw and draw. So the guy to my left has none, the guy to my right has 1, and the guy opposite has 1. So the chance of them being able to beat a pair of 5s is quite slim. So I'm going to take these 5s again, and then I'm just going to stand. Of course, he goes and steals some more chips. He gets a free draw. And then we go around. So again, just sort of breaking it down, you want pairs. That's when you have to worry about winning. You just want a pair of 5s, pair of 4s, pair of 3s, pair of 2s, pair of 1s, etc. Avoid the imposter card early on, because it is too random. And let's say I get a 1 in my hand and then I imposter a 6. Because of the 1 and 6 difference, when I lose without a Sabacc, without a pair, I lose 5 tokens, which pretty much put me out of the game every single time. The sylop 1, always keep that. Doesn't matter what you do. Whenever you draw a sylop, and sometimes you will see the sylop card down on the table, pick it up every single time and then just spend whatever you can drawing to get the lowest card possible. You will win with that hand 90% of the time. So guys, that's most of it really. It's not overly complicated. Again, it's just a game of pairs with a sort of slight different twist to it and some poker into it. But hopefully this video broke it down. If there's any more questions, if you've got any comments or you're stuck on something, do let me know in the comments and I'll help you out. Because nice and quick, nice and easy. Get what you need, get back to the game. If we help you out today, do like, subscribe. We do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.